Okay, we continue. I got a call from my daughter. Okay, it's about the house made from chiseling the rocky hill. So, how much passion they have. You cannot imagine that. How many hours they spend on chiseling a hill. So if they have to make a room, they have to chisel all the rock, the content of the rock to make a room. Just imagine how patient they are making this. The leader of these people proud themselves and say to people that they feel are weak. That is the people who believe. And some of them say, do you know that Soleh, so the name of the messenger is Soleh, is one of the messenger from Allah. They say, verily we believe what is being sent to us. So this question was posed by the proud leader. But then the people he asked is the people who believe, who say that they believe what has been revealed to them. Then the people who pride themselves, saying, verily we are against what you had believed. Then they slaughter the female camel with pride. Against the order of Allah. They say, O Saleh, give evidence of your threat to us if you are really a messenger. Then came the earthquake. Then they died from the ruin of their house. So though their house is made from chiseling the rocky hill, but that also be brought down by the earthquake and killing them. Then Soleh went away from them and saying, "O my people, verily I had already sent to you what has been trusted by my God to you, and I had advised you, but then you don't like the people who had given you advice." And we sent down Lut when he said to his people, "Why you are doing something dishonorable, which has not been done by the people before you in this world. Verily, you are doing over your desire to the same gender, that is man, and not the woman. You are people who are extremists, extreme doing extreme." So this is the prophet Lut had already warned his people of the practice of homosexuality or gay. But the people now say fighting for gay rights, things like that. But Prophet Lut had already said that what the homosexuality is doing is doing something that is extreme. But then you see in this modern world, you see this happening in this world. In even marriage between man and man is done in churches. It happened in Europe and also happened in Asia, where man and man got married. Of course, that is a sin to God. So they are committing sin. So Alhamdulillah, in Islam they don't do that, but only in other religion, in other than Islam, like even the priests allow this marriage to be done in churches, but actually in the Bible they know it, that it is forbidden things. Even if they look at the Bible, the priest read the Bible, but yet they're doing it, and they allow the marriage of man and man. So you'll see, of course, that is sin, because the prophet before had already encountered this doing, and he said that the people who are doing things in extreme. Okay, brothers and sisters, let's complete my reading of the Quran. And now read the Gospel of Barnabas. Okay, we should be reading chapter 153. Let's see how long is this chapter. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The priests and Pharisees murmured among themselves and said, "He has the wisdom of Baal and Ashtaroth, and so is the power of Satan has been done this." Jesus opened his mouth and said, "Our God commanded that we should not steal our neighbor's good, but this single precept has been so violated and abused that it has filled the world with sin, and such sin as shall never be remitted, as other sins are remitted, seeing that for every other sin, if man bewail it and commit it no more, and fast with prayer and almsgiving, our God mighty and merciful forgives. But this sin is of such a kind that it never be remitted, except which wrongly taken be restored. Then said a scribe, "O Master, how has robbery filled all the world with sin? Assuredly now by the grace of God there are but few robbers that cannot show themselves, but they are immediately hanged by solidarity." Jesus answered, "Who knows that goods they seek cannot know the robbers? No, I say unto you verily that many rob who know what they do, and therefore their sin is greater than that of others. For the disease that is not known is not healed. For the disease that is known is not healed." The Pharisees drew near to Jesus and said, "O Master, since thou alone in Israel knowest the truth, teach thou us." Jesus answered, "I say not that I alone in Israel know the truth, for the word alone appertain to God alone, and do not to others, for he is the truth, who alone know the truth. Wherefore, if I should say I would be a greater robber, for I should be stealing the honor of God, and in saying that alone knew God, I should be falling into greater ignorance than you all. Then all ye therefore committed a grievous sin, in saying that I alone know the truth. I tell you that if you say this to tempt me, your sin is greater still." So these prophets is very careful what they are saying. It's very careful what they are saying. And they, in their heart, they are away. There's always away the presence of God. They always listen. So they're very careful what they are saying. Then Jesus saying that all hail their peace, and said again, though I be not alone Israel, knowing the truth, I alone will speak. Therefore, hearken to me, since you ask me. All things created belong to the Creator in such a wise that nothing can lay claim to anything. Thus soul, sense, flesh, time, goods, and honor, all God's possession, so that if a man receive them not as God will, he becomes a robber, and in like manner he spend them contrary to which God wills. He is likewise a robber, I say. Therefore, unto you that as God live, whose presence my soul stands, when you take time saying, tomorrow I will do thus, I will say such thing, I will go to such a place, and not saying, if God will. Okay, so it's the same teaching as in Islam. We should say, if God will, inshallah. That's what is said. Normally we say, inshallah. You are robbers, and you are greater robbers when you spend the better part of time in pleasing yourself, not pleasing God, and spend the worst part of God's service. That are you robbers indeed. Whoso committed sin, be he of what passion he will, is a robber, for he steals time and soul of his own life, which ought to serve God, give it to Satan, the enemy of God. Okay, brothers and sisters, that complete my reading of the Gospel this morning. Thank you very much for listening.